Tom Duty, middle-aged American. Say hola, Adam.
Hola, Adam.
With
I
Adam
like that speech.
Strom, living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. This is Credit Card Debt Talk. Adam and I have made a commitment, which we've kept 100% of the time, with a couple of exceptions for good reason. I was out of the country. My time and attention was elsewhere. But other than that, we've been 100% effective at keeping our commitment of chatting about debt live on a Google Hangout weekly Friday. And it's Friday, and it feels like a Friday. I've got some
Yes, it
ideas.
does.
I've got some ideas about where I'm going to go with today, and it has to do with some of the calls I took on behalf of your business as your middle-aged receptionist. Uh, but I'll leave it to you to start with comments. What do you want to say today, Adam?
What do I want to say today? It's been a long week. It's been a good week. My company's expanding. I have a new employee. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Clients. I had a couple of calls I took on behalf of your business while I was out of the country. One was Mark, and the other was Paula. You recall these?
Yes, and we've spoken to both clients.
All right. So let me
Both are
Adam,
quite
you
happy.
you gotta help me. Paula contacted me directly, I think, because she had talked to me long ago, and then she used my number.
Probably.
Yeah, okay. And then so I talked to her. I talked to her while I was on vacation, only via text. I did have a few other voices, but the calls were not memorable. I think they were. I was truly a middle-aged receptionist and not a middle-aged problem solver. So, however, Mark did have some words that were disconcerting. He said, "This is important. Have him call me urgently." Well, it was the first call I took on behalf of your company while I was on vacation, and I said, "Yes, Mr. Mark," and I hang up, and it was one of those classic, remember the FedEx commercial? I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Oh, how am I going to do that? Well, my only phone was this Vodafone, and I didn't have the ability to get to you when I was mobile unless I had Wi-Fi, and now I'm in a foreign country, in that case, a town, an island of Mykonos in Greece, and I could not find Wi-Fi. But somehow I managed to reach you, and I think you resolved that. So why don't you talk about Mark first? What happened?
Well, Mark was a little bit nervous. He had received a collection letter that was worded very strongly. We went over it with him, and that debt has been settled.
Oh, really?
Settled at 36% of what was owed.
Great. So, Adam, go back to these collection letters, worded very strongly. You've read probably 100 times more than any consumer has read. As a professional, you've read many more than anyone, even with a lot of
I have
delinquent debt.
literally read thousands.
Yeah. So, what about this one that causes you to use the word strong, strongly worded?
Well, they worded it legally, but in such a way that it scared the bejesus out of Mark. It let him know what all the consequences of not responding would be, including possible garnishment of wages, possible seizure of bank account, and lien against personal property. So they had scared him because he thought that the collection agency could just go do this anytime they wanted because. Tom, are you there?
Yeah. Collection agency could do this anytime they wanted because, pick up there,
Because
Adam.
he did still owe the money.
Right.
He didn't
Who is
realize that they would first have to sue him and win in court before they could execute even the smallest of these things.
right? So, Adam, let me. let me recite what I know about the law relative to this. I want you to clean up what I said and tell me what parts apply. But I believe it's the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act that sort of slapped around the collectors and said you gotta be less idiots than you're being. You're threatening people viciously and saying things you should not be allowed to say. You're writing things you should not be allowed to write. Those rules were pretty specific. Maybe now the act
Right.
is a decade old. I think it's been relatively effective, and I think that applies here. They probably wrote the letter right up to the limits of their of the act and not beyond. So just
Correct.
respond.
Absolutely correct.
Adam, talk about the act first, though. I tried to say two things. One, the act is in place. It is effective. It's about a decade old. Kind of fact check that, and then how it applies to this letter. So do two different things, if you would.
All right. The fact is approximately 15 phone calls. It prevents collectors from saying things that are not true in order to pressure someone. And the rules include that they're not in legal action unless they plan to take it. Not allowed to yourself, your spouse, and your attorney. They are not allowed to place and interrupt your workday. And there are many other pet collection practices but they're more legalese. This letter. Oh, Tom.
Yep, yep, yep. I can hear you.
Okay, well, I think I answered both questions.
Okay. So, Adam, I think this is an opportunity to, okay, as a homeowner, I've been a homeowner multiple times in multiple states. And I think the best example as a homeowner is, what are you going to do yourself? Do it yourself, Home Depot, and when are you going to hire a professional?
Out front. Oh. I'll be out front. I'll be in a few minutes. Why, I have to pay him, and he has to hand me something. Sorry about that.
You have a few minutes to finish up, or do you have to go?
Yeah, no, I'm going to take you with me.
Oh, okay. So, Adam, what I want to comment on is this, when do you do things yourself? And when I think about the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and I think of about a consumer attempting to settle his or her own debt, this is an effective act. It is law. It uses, I would say, in the favor. It's supposed to promote justice for both parties, but I believe the act is in the favor of the consumers, giving them some protections they didn't have prior. And,
correct. It is
and
part
reading
of
the letter that you read, knowing if it's a violation, knowing if they came close to the line and not stepping over, or if they did step over, this is just something an amateur, a consumer on his or her behalf cannot possibly know. Am I correct?
Well, they may know of it, but they won't know how to apply it.
Yeah. So when the collectors write these letters, they are intentionally pushing the limits of what they're allowed to say. So give me an example of what they would say that sounds threatening, but yet it is still legal.
Well, they can say failure to respond to this notice may result in legal action that can cause a garnishment of your paycheck, a levy of your bank account, or a lien being placed against your personal property. Now, what I just said is perfectly legal under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
Okay, so can you
Because
give
they're
a?
not threatening. They're
All right, all right.
saying that
I think the key words are may. Now give a
yep.
version of that steps over the line.
If we do not hear, we've seen letters that say things like, if we do not hear from you in 30 days, we will levy your bank account and garnish your wages.
Okay, so they basically hop over the step of a judge saying they can do such things.
Correct.
Yeah.
In addition, we've even seen letters that say you might spend time in prison, which is
Yeah.
impossible under civil code.
Well, unless they're caught for failing to signal in Texas.
That's not my point. My point is
I understand.
a civil lawsuit does not ever result in jail time. It is a civil matter. It is a financial matter. It is not a criminal matter.
Right. Adam, I wanted to stay on this mark for a minute. I just want to comment. I made basically a joke at the experience of the late Sandra Bland in Texas. Now, this, of course, is not a joke. This is a headline story, still in the headlines for good reason. And to watch the tape of her finding she has failed to signal and is pulled over is a horrible video. It is a woman who became incarcerated under circumstances that I don't think anyone can reconcile clearly. It appears that she committed suicide in prison. There is nothing funny about it. So for
No,
me
it
to
is
use it, lightly is in poor taste. So I want to kind of correct myself and get back to our credit card debt business as saying this. The truth is, they can't go to jail for not paying their debt. True or false?
You cannot go to jail for not paying your debt.
So why do they threaten it?
Because they think that people are dumb enough to believe they can. And I'll tell you, I've had clients who thought they could.
And why do they believe such things? Because they're naive, or because, I mean, should they know better and they don't?
Not necessarily. It's not even being naive. It's what we're taught since we're little children, which is if you owe money, pay the bill, pay the debt. The bills have to be paid every month on time or else. And we never know what the or else is because very few people ever face the or else.
Yeah, that's right. Or else, okay, we know it's bad. How bad is it? Let's not talk about it.
So, that's the problem. The problem is people don't know what or else stands for.
All right,
So
Adam, I'm going to
or
give you the
else
opportunity to expand on a key component of your business. If you don't pay the bill, well, with your business, some people think you don't pay the bill, but in truth, you do pay the bill. You get credit for paying the full amount with a less than full amount. Am I right? Would you comment?
Under the new FICO I-9 scoring system, you do in fact get credit for a full payment with less than a full payment. The way that works is we negotiate. For instance, a $10,000 Chase card, they accept $4,000 in a lump sum to settle it. On your credit report, due to the FICO I-9 scoring system, the newest FICO scoring.
I'm disappointed. My video tells me that Adam has dropped. He is on a cell phone and he is mobile. We only talked about one of the clients this week. His name was Mark. This is a real call. I was on vacation and I was carrying a Vodafone, which allowed me to text within Vodafone users and maybe with all Europe users, I don't know. and I could make calls within Europe. And with Wi-Fi, I have the ability to convert that Vodafone into a penny per minute international device to the United States. So that Vodafone was a flip phone. It was crazy cheap. The whole thing was less than 100 euros. It was a great deal, and it allowed me to continue to be Adam's receptionist even though I was on vacation. When you go toward the sun, it makes it easier to be awake when Adam needs his phone answered. So when you're in Arizona, you go toward the sun. That gets you in New York, New Jersey, where I am. It allows me to be his middle-aged receptionist during that time. You go even further east, Italy, and where I was on the occasion of Mark's call, and I can answer that for him in the afternoon at 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon, depending on where I was. So this was a great deal. Mark was worried. Mark said it's important to have him call me. I hung up the phone and I realized I had made a commitment that I was going to tell Adam, and it was not an easy thing to do. I did it. I don't think I did it as promptly as I wanted to. However, I did do it promptly, probably finding a cafe and Wi-Fi and texting or Googling or something. And in a blink, Adam settled that debt. Now, Mark was worried, but Mark had accumulated enough funds to be able to settle that debt. So what Adam was also saying, which is news to me, is the FICO scoring used to minor penalty people that paid their full debt with a less than full amount. According to Adam's words just before he dropped, I wonder if I could add him again. Sort of be nice if I could. According to Adam, just before he dropped, is FICO now looks at a debt that was paid with a less than full amount and a debt that was paid with a full amount and considers them equal. Now, this is awesome. The truth is, if you get the skills of professionals or do it yourself, I highly discourage people to do it themselves. You find someone like Adam or one of his staff members to settle this debt. They enter negotiations with the creditor or collection agency or lawyer, law firm, and agree a mutually agreed settlement amount, and that amount is paid. That debt is now paid in full with a less than full amount. And that now, according to Adam.
Hello. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
So I think with my next sentence,
one of my attorneys was calling me.
All right. So I think with my next sentence, you'll know exactly what I was doing while you were gone. So according to Adam, the FICO score is now, whether you pay the full amount or you pay a less than full amount, if you enter into an agreement with your creditor that is an acceptable, mutually agreeable amount, and that amount is paid, now FICO looks at those as equal. In the past, it was not equal. And I think
correct.
So say just a little bit more, Adam, because I kind of expanded a little bit because I know about what was. The change in FICO is news to me. So trust that I covered some of what was, and you talk about what's new.
Let me give it a quick explanation. Under the FICO 8 scoring system, which is what is on its way out this year, if you paid less than the full amount to settle your debt, it was a negative rating on your credit report. It would be marked as settled for less than amount owed, and it would be about a 10 or 15 point hit to your credit. Under the new scoring system that goes in effect this year, FICO I-9 scoring system, when it is marked settled for an amount less than owed, it is viewed thing, and you lose no points on your credit report.
Great.
And the reason is exactly as you explained. If the creditor is willing to accept less, why are they penalizing you on your credit for what the creditor accepted?
Right. And what is the answer? Why did they see that as a negative? I mean, that is a person that's hit hardship that is still taking
Well, don't
responsibility to
get me
pay.
started.
No,
Me
no, no.
started. The
Say
banks
something.
did that. The banks did that. In their infinite wisdom, they said, hey, if they're going to cost us some of the profits, then we need to hit them back. And they hit them back in the form of a lower credit score.
Yeah, but hit them back is really petty because it doesn't really net them anything because,
I cannot think of anything a bank does that isn't petty.
well, come on, they finance
Go ahead.
skyscrapers. That's not petty.
They finance skyscrapers, and then, of course, they get paid billions in interest for financing them.
Right. So, Adam, what promoted this change? Two things, Adam. FICO is generally a mysterious calculation that is sort of like the Google algorithm that determines search ranking. It is not disclosed. It is not public. And I think it's sort of like a soft drink formula that nobody really knows what it is. How do you know this?
The Fair Isaac, which is what FI stands for in the FICO, Fair Isaac Company scoring model is available, but you have to search for it. The trouble is that every company does the math on it slightly differently. So you have like 3 credit agencies out there, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, which are the main 3 credit scoring companies. And you will have a different credit score with each one of them because they apply the Fair Isaac scoring system slightly differently in each agency.
Okay, so what tells you that this is going to be reliable? I,
Well, the FICO I9 scoring system must be used by each one of them, and the new FICO I9 rules are very clear that they do not factor a negative for settled accounts.
okay, okay. So it's not
So,
only a new ruling, but it's going to be all 3 credit bureaus.
yes, all 3 must adhere because that is the new scoring system.
Cool. And so the other part that I said about some mystery, non-disclosure in the score, that still exists, but this happens to be a component of it that is known, that is disclosed. Am I right?
Correct. There will always be mystery shrouded in your credit score because there are people who have paid every bill on time all their lives, never had a lateness. They just happen to live in the wrong neighborhood, so they have a lower credit score.
Right, right, right. So Adam,
It's
let
just
me
insane.
let me kind of summarize this call. Depending on your time, we may work toward the end. We may not, but I still want to.
Yes, I do have a bunch to do this evening.
All right, so let me just summarize this though. We talked about Mark, and when you were disconnected, I summarized that. So I'm not going to say anything more other than that his debt was settled less than full amount, and he has now paid it or is paying it. That was brought up because I took a call from Mark. He was worried. You explained more. So that is part of this call. The other part that we talked was really triggered by you saying people are worried when they read these credit reports, these threatening collection letters, because we're taught as kids, you got to pay your debt. And I expanded on that saying, well, with your services, people actually pay their debt. Well, not only do they pay their debt, but in this case, the credit score is going to show no difference between paying your debt with a full amount or paying your debt with a less than full amount. So
now, hold on. This is correct, but I don't want to mislead possible clients.
yeah.
During the program, while delinquent, you will still see a massive drop in your credit rate.
Right, of course.
And that
However,
is important to note because that's one of the deceptive
but that's
practices.
Adam, I'm going to try to differentiate what you said. I know that's one of your important disclaimers, so I'm going to try to differentiate what we are saying about the credit score. This is after it's settled relative to that one account or multiple accounts that were paid with a less than full amount. Those, whether they were paid with a full amount or a less than full amount, those are now equal in terms of credit scoring, and everyone knows that delinquent debt has significant negative effect on credit score, where paid debt, paid in full or less than full, has a positive effect on credit score. This is a fact.
This is correct.
Okay. Adam, I wanted to say something else. Oh, the thing with do you want to? Should we say something else about Paula? That was my second call, the second client contact I had on vacation, or do you want to just wrap up? It depends on your time. I have a little more time if you want to take the time.
Paula was a very simple call. There was nothing going on there that was out of the ordinary, so there's no reason to really expand on it. Just a simple customer service question.
Okay. So that's all that I had as your middle-aged receptionist. Do you have anything else you want to add to this credit card debt talk?
We have added a brand new affiliate, and I'd like to mention them. They are in the credit repair and the mortgage modification game. It is Achieve It Consulting of New York. They're in Long Island. Achieve It Consulting has been in business for 9 years. They're very good at what they do, and they now have signed on to use our company for their debt settlement needs.
Great. How did you get to them, Adam? Or they to you?
They came to us. A company by the name of Bright Solutions, and Bright Solutions has decided to close its doors.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations. That's you think they'll perform?
They've already put 7 clients in the system. I see no reason why they wouldn't.
Wow. Happy Shabbat.
Well, sorta.
Fantastic. Adam, I'm going to do your credentials and contact information, and I'll do my howdy doody thing. You can stay or say ciao. What do you want to do?
I'm going to say ciao and give my regards to Buffalo Bob.
All right. Ciao, amigo. Wait a minute, I got to do from, Adam, I don't know if I'm in West Bergen or I'm North Bergen, New Jersey, or West New York, New Jersey. Either way, I'm in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. From New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel to the great North American desert near Sky Harbor International. Ciao. Que tenga un buen fin de semana.
Buen fin de semana. Here's some more scenery from the great North American desert.
Adios, amigos. So Adam is his company is Financial Rescuers. Now, many of these clients that we talk about are under a company called Capital AmeriCap. AmeriCap is the decline is accepting new clients, and Adam's preferred company is Financial Rescuers. So the company is Financial Rescuers. So these people we talk about are sometimes AmeriCap clients. These
our website is financialrescuers.com.
Bravo. Do your phone number too, as long as I still have you. 866
516-1985. Again, that's 866 toll free 516-1985.
And I, Tom Duty, middle-aged receptionist, answer that phone for Adam 9 to 11 Eastern Time, Monday through Thursday. Adam, the generous boss that he is, gives me Fridays off, and today I needed it. So Adam is a partner.
I give you Fridays off to prepare for this radio show.
Right, that's right. So Adam is a founding partner of Financial Rescuers. He is also a managing partner of the Debt Service Center in Tempe, Arizona. He has a handful of employees. Adam mentioned that he has a new employee. That's this week, Adam?
That is this week. She starts Monday. She trained yesterday and today.
All right. And Adam is A. Strum. That's A like Apple, A like Adam, S like Sam. That's A. Strum, ASTRUM, @ myfinancialrescuers.com. All this information, phone number is in the text attached to this video. Adam, what about the website? You're under construction still?
No, the website is up and running. You can find out more information about us at www.financialrescuers.com or www.myfinancialrescuers.com.
Oh, cool. Yeah, both of them.
Both of them are mine, yes.
Good. I'm an advocate for that because I didn't think you were going to do that. Your email was going to be misleading, so I think you got that tidy.
I have one word for you.
Yes.
Surprise.
Yeah, good. Bravo. Okay, I'm closing. We're done. This is
All
Tom
right.
Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Have a good evening. Have a good day, good evening, or
Buen
restful
fin de
night's sleep.
semana.
Ciao, 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 Adam.
Ciao.